Okay, so listen up, everybody. We got Jason J. Carter. He is the host of Jason Unleashed. It is amazing. I can't even tell y'all how amazing it is. Oh my God, hey, there he is.
Hey, Don Julio, Jazzer Fierce, DJ Young. What's going on, you guys? I'm here in Miami, but I feel like I'm there with you guys in the Windy City. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here.
No problem. Thank you for joining us. Thank
you.
So, just tell our listeners and our viewers just a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Okay, well, Jason Carter. I host a show called Jason Unleashed on Instagram. You can watch it every day, Monday through Friday, on my Instagram page at Jason Carter Official. If you don't catch it there, you can catch it on YouTube as well. And essentially, you guys, I'm just talking with like what you guys are doing, just chatting with the masses. You know, COVID, quarantine, 2020. Was the absolute most, right? On so many different ways, from civil unrest to blatant racism to trying to survive this invisible killer that is wiping out thousands and has impacted all of us in so many different ways, shapes, and forms. It was just like, what can I do to stay sane? One, and two, I wanted to connect with people. I was lonely. I wanted to talk to people. So I'm on a really popular TV show called RuPaul's Drag Race. And it was just really nice to be able to connect with fans from across the world as well and see how they're doing. Because this is not something that's just happening to a group of people in one part of the world. This is with a pandemic, which means the world over. And everyone's experiencing it. So it's kind of like we're all in this together, right?
Yeah. Oh, we're trying to be. You would think so.
You would, Jazzy, you would think so. However, but for the most part, right, we're in this together.
For the most part.
Yeah.
So speaking of, trying to stay together and things like that, let's just go a little bit back, a little, as DJ Young Homie would say, BC, before COVID. Before
COVID.
Rewind. So tell us a little bit about like a moment that stuck out to you most from being a journalist throughout the years.
Oh my God, that one, Jazz, that's a great question. I would say, I've worked with some really incredible, I've worked for and worked at some really incredible outlets, from Entertainment Tonight to the Young Turks to CNN. You know what? I would say one of the coolest moments for me was actually interviewing RuPaul for ET. And why that was so cool was I was in the spring of 2019. And, I've been on the show for more than a decade. It's an Emmy Award-winning global phenomenon. And just having that full circle moment of being able to connect with someone who really changed my life. And here, seeing me in a different outlet, seeing me in a different venue, and seeing me in a different outfit, right, if you will. And saying, like, seriously, and being able to celebrate him and what he was doing, but also showing him what I do and giving him a whole new view of who Jason J. Carter is. That to me stuck out a lot. And also I interviewed Halle Berry. That was another moment because I've loved Halle Berry my whole life.
Wow, that's amazing.
And Halle was great. People think that she's this Oscar winner, superstar, beautiful, but she was just like, ask me whatever you want. Like, let's just so down to earth, so cool, and no pretense. Was just like, I'm like you. I do a job and I get paid for it, and there we go. So that was cool. But it's really hard to say which moment has been the most magical, because as you guys know, you talk to people every day, and it's just the opportunity to do what we do that we love so much. That's the magic, right?
Exactly.
So it would be a disservice to say, oh my God, one moment sticks out, because every moment we get to do what we love is just that, those incredible moments.
Okay. Yes. Say that again for the people.
Incredible moments, damn it.
Incredible moment. That's solid. Hey, we're trying to get on your level, man.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to get on y'all's level. You guys are consistent. You're consistent. You're fun. People love you. And it's just nice to see young people of color.
Yes. Say that again for the people in the back.
Well, and also in that, and I'm gonna keep it 100. Also, people of color supporting other people of color, because we know that there's this onlyness syndrome where there can only be one person, one Latino, one Black female, one Dominican, or whoever that gets through the door, and then you have your so-called friends who aren't rooting for you. That sucks. When you work hard, you grind, you show up every single day, and are consistent in your craft, because as people of color, what has been instilled in us? If you want them damn Jordans, you go get a job at McDonald's, you get a job at Walmart, you push carts to get whatever you need. Mom and dad ain't gonna do it for you. Right. So you have this grind mentality, which I don't say the hustle culture is good, but I say being ambitious and wanting more for your life is. So when you, like yourselves, you guys are out here talking to people, bringing people like me on, being a safe space for people to tell their stories. That's a level that we should all try to get on. It's not about the gram. It's not about, oh, I have these many followers, whatever. It's about consistently doing good work. That's true success, not the BS that looks good on social media. For that we did that in 2020. We're not taking that into 2020.
Did that.
Exactly. So we know you've been doing this for a while, man, but what's been the most difficult hurdle for you to overcome in your career?
Don, brother, I would say the most difficult thing to overcome in my career is rejection, man. It sucks, right? We all experience it. Rejection's terrible, and people not believing in you. You have the skill, you have the talent, you have the ethic. There's a lot of people who get opportunity that don't have a good work ethic. No.
Right.
And so for me, it's proving that I'm more than this, or having someone give me the opportunity to show I can do the job. It's like, I always say, get me in the room and it's a wrap.
Give me a shot, man. Give me a chance.
Right. But it's getting in the room. It's getting in the room to show them. That's always the biggest hurdle. But you know what? What's great about social media and what we have now is that we're our own business. We create our own opportunities now. I've had more opportunity doing Jason Unleashed on social media than I ever had with an agent, a manager, working for these outlets that really didn't value what I brought to the table because I was just a number. You're replaceable when you work for someone else. People always talk about owning your seat at the table. You have people like Tyra Banks, Jay-Z, Beyonce, the list goes on of blackness and people of color, Latino, Asian, that they're like, fine. You want to tell me no? Let me go and buy every table, build it, and have my own seat. Let me go and create my own lane and drive the F in it.
Okay.
I'm gonna show y'all.
Yes.
Right. So it's like the biggest hurdles are just rejection. Even no matter how successful you get, rejection still hurts. It still sucks. And it's something that I'm at how old I am now and where I'm at in my career, constantly working through. And I think COVID and what's happened, us witnessing, like I said, the blatant racism, us witnessing what happened last week at the White House. It's like racism is real and that affects you. We're traumatized in varying degrees, right? So we're working through a lot of different things and things are triggering. You know, some things are triggering.
Very.
And when you work in a business like ours, you guys know radio's cutthroat, television's cutthroat.
Oh yeah, we know.
Trying to hold on to a job,
right? Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, just taking the no's and turning the no's into a yes for myself. That's the biggest hurdle, and we're getting there. Slowly but surely.
And you've been doing it, period. Okay, if y'all don't know about Jason J. Carter, y'all better find out.
Jazz, you're the best. Hey, man, I'm just trying to make my mom, my twin brother, my dog, my husband, everyone proud. I'm trying. No, I am LGBTQ+, and a lot of people, especially in the Black community, that there's an issue with that. Even in 2021, people still feel like, when we're talking about Black Lives Matter last summer, and I was all about Black trans lives matter, because blackness, we can't police blackness, right? The way we move to the world is how we move to the world, but people see you as a person of color, regardless of what your sexuality is or who you love, or if you're you know what I mean? So it's like exactly. Black trans women were being murdered at an alarming rate, and no one was talking about that in the Black Lives Matter movement. And that matters too. But when I would have conversations with our other Black brothers and sisters and other people of color, when you would bring up the LGBTQ+ component, they were like, oh, well, hold on. Okay, well, that's not what we're talking about, but we need to be talking about that. So,
it's a living person. So it should matter. It should matter.
We're all human beings.
Exactly. Right. And we're all going through some stuff, right? Like, okay, so imagine being transitioning and having and feeling like you are not the person that you're not in your own body. You just feel differently, and then having to deal with the weight of the world, maybe parents who don't support you, maybe a community that has shunned you, and then going into the world trying to find a safe space, trying to make a living, trying to just live your life, because life is happening whether you want it to or not. When you go to bed at night, the hours still go by. When you have a birthday, you're aging. Like, life is happening, so you're trying to grasp and hold on to life. Imagine the struggle that they have, you know what I mean? And we can't imagine that, because being Black and moving to the world, we have our own struggles that we can identify with. So, you know, like I said, I'm trying to make people proud and just, I don't know, have fun while doing it.
Yes.
That's good, man. You got to have fun with what you're doing, because if you don't have fun, you know, it's no point in doing it.
100%, bro. 100%. And look, it's not always going to be fun, but the reward, like you guys know, when you have a kick-ass show, you have a great interview, when you're vibing, when it just clicks, there's something that feels amazing about that. There's something that feels amazing about the work you put in, and when it pays off, when it's like, we did that. And it's not about us, it's about our audience. It's about the people who tune in and listen, and they get something from it, right? That's when you know you are purposeful, when you are doing what God has put you to do at this moment in time.
Man,
okay,
respect
that's
to
when
you,
you
man,
feel the
because you know
magic
what?
in your soul. Okay. Yes.
Exactly. Man, respect to you, boss, because a lot of people don't realize, you know, what people in your situation or other people's situations are going through. You know, so it's about understanding, you know. I got a question for you, man. Piggybacking off what you said earlier about the social media, man. How do you feel about the internet nowadays, man? How's it impact your career?
You know, the internet, I love how we say like the internet, because the internet's all encompassing thing, right? Like, how do you feel about the internet? Well, I ordered the pizza off the internet. You know what, Don, it's impacted my career, obviously, in ways that are good. But in 2020, I realized that it can be a very toxic and a very it's not a safe space, right? People have opinions, and people want, you know, we have at any given day hundreds of people readily available in your pocket to throw some shade or support you, depending on whatever you're putting out there. So I've had to learn to erect boundaries. It's all about boundaries, and healthy boundaries with social media. I use my social media as a business card to promote what I'm doing and who I am, because, you know, you have people who post selfies and all this and that work in our, let's take it into our field, right? People always ask, what's the best way to get started? How should I do this? How should I do that? Well, what are you using your social media for? Instead of that bathroom selfie, if you had an incredible interview with someone, put that out there. Celebrate yourself.
Yes.
Celebrate yourself. Treat yourself. I think that we put too much weight on the internet. Like some people will, like what we're doing now, let's say this content, we put this content on YouTube, it's streaming right now, and it gets however many views. And someone may say, well, it's not good, it only got this many views. No, homeboy. Actually, how dare you say the value of something isn't good or isn't worth it because of what the validation it got from other people? Did you look at what was inside of that book? Why are we judging the book by the cover? So that's one thing I don't like about social media, is that people take everything that's at face value and don't dive deeper and say, oh my gosh, that Jazz and Don and DJ had an incredible interview, and it still would have got such and such many views. I walked away from that learning something. I was inspired. I was moved. I felt seen in what they were talking about. And that's what drives me insane about about social media and the internet, is that it's like, your worth is based on a number. And it's like, no, it's not. You just need to do your homework and dive deep to find out the treasure that was at the bottom of that ocean that you chose to sail over instead of sail through.
Okay, Jason is dropping gems. I hope y'all are hearing
right here.
Right
I got
now.
my coffee. I'm ready.
Yes. Is that the Beyonce mug?
Yeah,
Jazz, you know it's the Beyonce mug. Look, Jazz first, you get the hit him with journalist. She stays ready. She was like, you know, let me do my homework on Jason. Yes, this is the Blairisms coffee mug. It has Beyonce on it. Look, let me do what they do on YouTube.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see it.
Can you see this? This is the Fenty chat, the Fenty beauty. I hate it.
I love that mug.
Thank you.
We appreciate you here on the show. Thank you again, Jason Carter, for joining us here on the Wake Up and Win show. Don't forget, everyone, hit the like button below. And if you want more content every week, just hit that subscribe button. So my question to you, Jason, is with COVID and everything that's happened, could you give me an example of one major change that you had to accomplish or accommodate in your practice?
Whoa, hey, DJ, that's an incredible question. And you know what? The reason why that's a good question is because before COVID, we had the luxury of being in studios. We had the luxury of just, we took for granted all the things that were at our disposal to deliver incredible content or to do our jobs and whatever job that is. The biggest pivot for me was what we're doing now. Like when I started Jason Unleashed, I was shooting on an iPhone 10 and I had an Android phone that I would have to take the video off of, then upload to my computer, edit. It was the most, and it was trial and error. Y'all know, it was like, what's going, like, what am I doing? I spent so much money, and I did my research trying to figure out, okay, how can I streamline this and make this the best for my audience? And it was, why do something if it doesn't look good, or if you're not proud of it? So I would say one of the biggest things for me was just figuring out how to elevate and reinvent and pivot, and figuring out what my, I would say, creative voice is and how I want to present that. And so after months, come on, I started doing Unleashed back in March of 2020. Now it's going to be March of 2020 and 2021 in 60 days. I've updated to lights, it's just the evolution. So I would just say the biggest thing I've had to adapt to is just figuring out how to adapt. What that looks like. And it's trial and error. Nothing's perfect. You're not going to get it right. Also, letting go of what right look is supposed to look like. Letting go of like perfection and being like, oh, it has to be this or that, or what are people going to say? It's better to ask for forgiveness and ask for permission, right? So,
I love that.
Right. So just put it out there. And just say, hey, guys, it is what it is. And then just slowly evolve. And you'll be amazed at how much growth happens when you're not trying to control the growth. It's like working out at the gym. Just keep showing up. Of course, you're going to track your progress. Yeah. Just keep showing up. Just keep doing the work. And you're going to figure the universe, God, Allah, whoever you believe in, once you're doing what you're supposed to do, is going to be like, I see you. Boom. Here's this idea, or boom, here's this YouTube video that shows you how to edit, or like you'll be given the tools you need to be successful when the intention is there to be successful. I wholeheartedly believe that, and I'm living proof of that.
That's it. That's the one.
That's a gem.
That's power right there.
Definitely. I agree with that too. Get that content out there regardless. Content is king and engagement is queen.
Right. And look, you can't always do it. You can't always do it for the likes. You can't always do it because social media is also a very instant gratifying experience, right? Yeah. So you're like, ooh, I got this dope. I got this cool. Let's put that out, because the dopamine hit you get from a like, especially from people you want to like your stuff, is like. But creatively, though, you have to come from, your intention has to be there, and you have to come from a space of, okay, what is my intention? What am I trying to say? Why am I doing this? And what do I want my audience or whoever to extract from what I'm putting out there? Never forget that, because I think a lot of people forget why they do what they do. The reason why Wendy Williams is so successful, the reason why Oprah was so successful, is because they knew their audience and they knew their why. What is their why, right? They knew why they are doing what they are doing. And that's why they stayed successful, because they never veered from that. They stayed true to that no matter what happened, no matter the ups and downs, the changing of the winds, the changing of the guard, the changing of the trends. They said, well, this is who I am. So either you like it or you don't. And if you don't, kick rocks. I'm here to stay.
Exactly.
I'm loving this too. Thank you again for being here, Jason Carter. Yeah. If just remember, you got to adapt, you got to pivot, and don't forget too, what people think out there really doesn't hold too much weight. Nope. Do it, and we continue to offer service where we here at the Wake Up and Win Show want to inform, educate, try to entertain, and make sure you guys pass the time the best way we know possible with this type of media. But again, Jason, thank you for being on the show. What's the best way we can get in contact with you? Where can the people?
Oh my God. It has been a pleasure to chat with you guys. Hit me up on social media at Jason Carter Official on Twitter. You could also, Jason Carter Official on Instagram. You could also follow me on Twitter at JJC Forever, the word forever, not forever, forever. And on YouTube at Jason Carter. I'm the only Jason Carter on YouTube, I think, or at least when I search, I'm the only one who comes up. So, hey, I'm here for it. But you guys,
period.
Pleasure to be here with you guys. Keep on killing the game. I see you guys are kings and queens and fan for life here. Fan for life.
I appreciate you.
We're fans for life of you. Thank you so much.
Let's do it. Stay positive, everyone.
That's great.
See you guys later. Jason Carter.